Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when the narcissist has to start over. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So usually on the videos I create, I am referring to you, the person healing, or the person who has healed, that you have to start over, and you have to rebuild, and you have to put yourself back together. First and foremost, you have to be fortunate enough to figure out what narcissism is and how it had affected you for a period of time. Then you have to learn the definitions, the glossary, and apply those to your real life experience. Then that over time equals, yes, it equals wisdom. Now this wisdom is something that you are acquiring or you have acquired. The narcissist has no wisdom whatsoever. They have zero wisdom. They never will have wisdom. All they have is manipulating techniques in a bottomless pit. But what they have to do, unlike what you had or have to do, is they have to start over again, and they have to start grooming a new person or grooming new people or going back to recycled sources of supply to get what they were getting from you. Now I'll touch on you for a quick moment, then I'm going to go back to the narcissist because this video is primarily about when they have to start new or start over. You, remember, you are healing or you've healed, you're elevating, you're ascending, you're growing, you're changing, you are evolving. You are not in that low vibrational quagmire state with the narcissist. You're not repressed, you're not being disrespected, you're not being given the silent treatment, gaslit, stonewalled, you're not experiencing verbal abuse and so much more. You're now really focusing on yourself, and you're learning to control what you can't control. And you're understanding that that person, i.e. the narcissist, the one you're considering, they did know what they were doing. They had done it before they met you, and most likely they're still doing it right now with somebody else or other people. Now getting back to them, when they have to start over, this is not a good thing for them. You may think, no, after the narcissist discarded me or after the relationship ended with the two of us, they were living their best life and it was all ice cream and snickerdoodles. Well, it wasn't. You may have thought that. You were supposed to think that because back then you didn't have the wisdom. You didn't realize that the narcissist wanted you thinking that. The narcissist also did not want you healing, focusing on yourself, going no contact and blocking them, but you've done all those things or you are about to do those things. What the narcissist has to do is they have to start over again and again and again. And you may say, doesn't that get tiresome? Doesn't it get exhausting? Doesn't it get draining? Well, I'm not a narcissist. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you this, that if you had to start putting on a new mask after a period of time with being with somebody, and you have to do it every 6 months or every 3 years or every 6 years or every 12 weeks, whenever it was, that would become quite cumbersome because you couldn't keep your lies straight. You couldn't keep your sob story straight. You couldn't keep your story straight. You couldn't keep all the people that you abused or manipulated, all their stories straight. This is why the narcissist erases people. This is why the narcissist erases the past. This is why they can't be accountable, they can't introspect, they can't be authentic, and they will blame anybody under the sun for their own misgivings and for the dissolution or dissolvation, if that's a word, of the relationship that they were a part of. The narcissist is loyal to nobody, they care about nobody. What they need to do, and you may say they want to do it, well, sure, they need, but they definitely need to, is they need to get new people, what I call the next new shiny object, or what you may call the new supply, or a recycled source of supply. They need to matter to somebody. So when the narcissist finds somebody who is vulnerable, who is naive, who is new, who is trusting, who just lost a loved one, or just relocated, or just is new on the job, or just new to the neighborhood, they will look at that person and think to themselves what they can take. How vulnerable is that person? Is that person young and maybe they don't have a lot of money, but they have vitality? Is that person older and they just lost their spouse of 50 years and now they're vulnerable and they're just about to inherit a boatload of money? Is that person, let's say, in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, and they just got divorced and they just relocated somewhere and now they had a divorce, but now maybe they're missing intimacy, and the narcissist will try to fill that for the new person. You see, the narcissist is always looking to see what they can take, what they can extract, and they will give you absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, in return of substance. All they will give you is empty promises, future faking, the what ifs, the wondering, the how could I stay in this, the how did I not know, how did I fall for the mask, how did I not see it, why did I not trust my instincts, why did I not trust my intuition, how come I didn't pay attention to red flags? Well, I went down those rabbit holes for quite a long time, and either you have or you will. But you see, the narcissist has to start over and over and over. This is why the narcissist can't sit still. This is why they're always on their smartphones. Sometimes the narcissist has 3, 4, 5 smartphones. You say, really? Well, yeah, really. You can't make the things up that you experienced. You can't unsee what you've seen, and you cannot trust anything other than what you know to be the truth. The narcissist, when you were with them, they painted the narrative that they were the victim and that all their exes broke up with them and they took all their money and they didn't raise the kids properly and they didn't get any money or whatever they wanted to say. Remember, you didn't know who the narcissist's exes were. Some of those people are not even on the planet, I can assure you, wink, wink. But for those of them that are, maybe some of those people wised up and they kicked the narcissist to the curb. Maybe they went no contact early on in a budding relationship, or maybe after the narcissist got married to a person before they married you, maybe that person, after they had a kid or two, they said, wait, something's wrong here. I need to get out of this relationship. Who knows what happened before they met you? But what I do know is whenever the narcissist met you, they saw you as an opportunity. They did see you as the new supply. They did not look at you the way I look at you, as the beautiful, bright, shining light. They looked at you as a person they could take from and insidiously creep into your energy field, into your mind, into controlling you, your hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals, your future, your present, and anything that meant anything to you, which again includes your hobbies, your relationships, your money, your time, and your food, and your music, and your city, town, state, all these things and more. But the narcissist has to start over. Now, when they get kicked to the curb themselves, I'm referring to the narcissist, this usually comes out of left field. It's usually unexpected, not always, but usually. And this throws a monkey wrench in the plans of the narcissist. And what do they have to do? Well, they have to go look down on their smartphone and figure out how many people are still stuck in the trauma bond with them, or how many people are still tethered to them, or how many people are still giving them the time of day. And then they look to see where these people are, how to get to that, from that state to wherever they are, that city or country, and how to get that person back in the fog. And it usually is pretty easy for the narcissist to get people who haven't healed or who haven't figured out what narcissism is to enter a part of a relationship with them again. Again, think about you. How many times did the narcissist attempt to hoover you? Or flip it this way, when you're in the relationship, how many micro discards did you experience? You may say, what's a micro discard, Andrew? Well, a micro discard is when the narcissist, hypothetically, they disappeared for a weekend, on a girl's weekend or a guy's weekend, or they intentionally did not buy you a birthday present, or they made you late when you got a pay raise, or you got an award, or you won some kind of trophy or something, or when they didn't attend your kid's graduation, or when they told you they would be there to pay the alimony and they didn't lift a finger to do it. These are micro discards. The macro discard is the big discard. That's the ending of the relationship. And when that happens, usually the narcissist has a new source of supply lined up. But like I shared a moment ago, there are people who end the relationship before the narcissist can end it. And if you're one of those people, you're an extremely strong person. If you're not, if you're a person who got discarded like myself, you're extremely strong also because you have the wisdom, or you're acquiring it and you're using the tools that I provide for you with each and every video, and you're getting your cup full with all the beautiful comments from all over the globe from other people who have healed or who are healing. But the narcissist will always have to start over again. They have to start over again in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and if they make it that far upwards, you must also remember, and everybody say it with me, as the narcissist gets older, they become whom? That's right, they become the aging narcissist. And again, say it with me. Who is, or whom is the aging narcissist? That's right, they're not a pretty sight to see. These people, they look in the mirror and see a version of themselves from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. They still think that they look like they did when they were in their early 20s. They still think they can charm anybody, and they can still use their batting of eyelashes or the rosy cheeks or the way they walk, etc. Well, think again, aging narcissist. You're a pitiful sight, and you have pruned up, and now what happens to you? Most people have figured out who you are, and they want nothing to do with you. And you try your best to continue to cling on to what once was, knowing that you blew up every relationship that you ever encountered, including with your spouses, your kids, your stepkids, your siblings, your parents, your friends, colleagues, coworkers, and anyone else you throw under the bus. But having said these things, that's why the narcissist has to start over and over and over and over again, because they don't like sustainability, they don't like commonplace, they don't like togetherness, they don't like growth, they don't like the word we. What they like is the word I, and me. And once you're tethered to them, meaning once you're in that narcissistic fog, And specifically when you don't know what's going on, you are very vulnerable. I mean, extremely vulnerable. And this is when the narcissists did most of their damage to you. This is when they were inflicting all the cuts. It was almost as if death by 1,000 paper cuts that you were experiencing, because you were. But what you were doing back then is you were looking the other way, turning a blind eye, thinking you could fix an irreparable relationship, thinking you could fix the person, thinking you could help them, you could change them, you could turn them to the good side, and there is a little bit of goodness inside of them. Well, think again, there's nothing good inside of them. These people are rotten to the core, which is why they have to start all over again. Think of all of the relationships the person you're considering has blown up. Think of all the people that don't want anything to do with them. Think of all the people that have wised up. Think of all the parties or events or ceremonies that they're not invited to or they're not welcome to. Think of all the people that have closed the avenues of communication to the person you're considering. And by now, you're probably one of them. If you haven't done that yet, you will in time. Remember, you must go no contact. You must block that person, delete them, remove them, and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you're still struggling and you're still trying to put two and two together and you have deduced or figured out that that person is toxic, maybe even narcissistic, well, you're going to really have to put some focus and energy into yourself, because these people only get worse. These relationships only deteriorate. Every time you accept a hoover or every time you open up avenues of communication with these people, and you shouldn't, it will only get worse and worse and worse. And this is what the narcissist wants. Why? I'll tell you why. Because the narcissist wants to break relationships. They don't want to build them. They want to blame people for things that they did or didn't do in the relationship. They don't want to be accountable. And they want to take anything under the sun they can from the target, which again is your money, time, energy, love, empathy, your memories of the past, which is what gaslighting is, etc. They want to do whatever they can to keep people trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state. And again, when you're in that state and you don't know what's going on, you're helpless, you're flailing, and you're thinking that you just found the best relationship known to humankind. Well, what you just found was the worst relationship known to humankind, but you weren't taught this in school, so how could you know it? And you're still trying to fix the relationship, although the narcissist was trying to destroy you and that relationship and anybody that was close to you. Before I close the video, I'll say a few things. What the narcissist wants to do is disrupt. What the narcissist wants to do is distract. What the narcissist wants to do is isolate. What the narcissist wants to do is slowly and insidiously chip away at people. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, until there's nothing left of those people. That's why when you're in these relationships, you lose your identity to the narcissist. You become a shell of yourself. You become an extension of them, and you become in that zombie-like, trance-like state, which is the narcissistic fog, and you become the unpaid helper, the walk-in apology, the sounding board, the cook, the cleaner, the chauffeur, the errand person, and more. And they knew this because they had done it before. So as I'm sharing before I close the video, why the narcissist has to start again, it's because every relationship, and I mean every one of them, they fracture and fracture and fracture until they break it. And then they blame that person for the ending of that relationship, or they scoff and laugh and just say, yeah, well, what are you going to do about it now? I took whatever I could from you, and you have no money. Your kids won't talk to you. Your besties, I blew up your besties because of the smear campaign, and I won over our kids. They won't talk to you because I've now told them what a bad person you are, and etc. Well, the truth of the matter is, there's a power much greater than a human being, and that power sees what we all do. That power knows what we are all thinking, and that power you cannot run from, you cannot escape from, you cannot hide from. And you know what the power is. It's the power above. And that power eventually will come back to get the narcissist. Again, I don't wish doom and gloom on anybody. I am not a negative person. I have never once wished ill will upon anybody, and I'm not going to start now. What I'm going to share with you is whatever you sow, you reap. And whatever you put out in the universe, it will come back to you. If you're going to be a negative person and try to destroy people's lives and think that on this time period or on this planet Earth that you can get away with it, maybe you can for a period of time. Until when? That's right, until you can't. And when you can't, it will be too late. So that's why these people always have to start over. And they have to start over and over and over, because they can't face the truth. They can't face reality. They live in their own tiny little pea brain. They have their own little script running around in that tiny brain telling them, I am important. People need me. I am powerful. People respect me. I am the most important person ever. Robotic-like, boring yawn. This is what these people do. They copy paste. They regurgitate other people's lines. They steal other people's ideas. They take credit for other people's doings and achievements, etc. And they think no one's ever going to figure it out. Well, think again, narcissists. We've all figured it out by now. We all know we want nothing to do with you. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And when the narcissist has to start over, you may say, well, they were looking forward to it. They wanted to. They had the new supply lined up. You're probably right. However, you must remember, whoever the new supply is, they're not you. And the new supply is only one of three people. A recycled source of supply, meaning someone who hasn't figured out narcissism or didn't crack the code or isn't strong enough to do it yet. Number two, they're a clean slate like you were. Or number three, they are another toxic person. Those are the only three people that the narcissist can use as a new source of supply. So get the message. Once you're off the radar of these people, you need to stay off of the radar and continue to have a small footprint and heal properly. And there are the beautiful bells here in the Carolina environment. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Let's hear how many dings. I think there's going to be 6. I love you all. God bless you. Bye.